Just like the 2015, when it was initially brought, because there were cries from MPs, we later brought an amendment to call an addendum where concerns were incorporated and it was stable. It formed part of the initial agreement that was stable. And that's why I'm proposing that it is unfair to the government, it is unfair to us as people's representatives in the midst where government is struggling to execute the budget, Mr. Speaker, for us to see that government intends to give $77 million, Mr. Speaker, without having anything in return is something we must not take lightly. And that's why I submitted that we want to see a proviso that creates some amount of sharing. Because when you look at the analysis, Mr. Speaker, the actual cost in page 80, Mr. Speaker, page 80 is telling you as to what is actually supposed to be incurred for the construction of the road. Of the 155, it includes administration and other costs. But for the construction alone, it will cost around 85 million. So if government is already going to give 77 million, it means that government is almost paying 90% for the construction of this road. And we have people, sometime I think some 4 years ago, the military were donated with a whole lot of equipment. They were given almost all the equipment that can be used to construct roads. These are opportunities for government to be giving them, whether it takes 10 years, but the fact that there is a willingness on the side of the president, I want to say kudos to him. This is a huge commitment. We can give that money to a competent military that have equipment to construct this road at no cost to government and the people that we now want to put a burden on. And so therefore, Mr. Speaker, I want to again, lastly say, yes, I want to again lastly say that much as government intends to spend 50% of the road, which is to a large extent is not back to a PPP, but I would like you to recommend 3 main recommendations. One, that government to make an addendum agreement to include toll revenue proceeds sharing. And 2, to compel the SDMMCO to clearly stipulate CSR projects. And 2, to review the project cost of $177.4 million, Mr. Speaker, because according to the West African average, Mr. Speaker, a kilometer average rate between $300,000 to $1 million. As per the analysis, Mr. Speaker, on average, this road is going to cost something around $2 million. And so therefore, I want to consider that the addendum should contain a review of the initial proposal of $177.4 million for a construction of just 87 million, which to me is not that significant. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, yes, lastly, I also want to recommend that the minister considers the suffering of the people of that road leaking Gope and Kono. Those people deserve better, Mr. Speaker. With the much as the road will bring so much opportunities for them, let's also look at the economic implication of some of these toll gates. So that's why I recommend that when we bring the addendum, let us consider the removal of some of these toll roads to make sure that we make toll roads that the people can be willing to pay without any extra cost on them. On that note, Mr. Speaker, like I submitted, it's not new, and I want to believe that the minister should be considerate enough to take this concern in good faith, to incorporate them and make sure that for the good of this country, like I said, Mr. Speaker, toll gate is a good system altogether. We cannot go against them as a party because we initiated them in 2015. That's why we enacted the 2014 CPP Act. If I had not believed in it, there's no way we would have enacted a law. But we are firm believers of the existence of PPPs. But in that case, it should be a win-win station. Government should win, the people should win, and investors should win. But anything where the investors win and the people lose and government lose, to us, it's not a people-centered agreement. On that note, I want to thank you very much.
Mr. Minister, I'm sure you took copious notes of all the issues raised by Honorable Aaron Kuma. This is for God and country. For God and country. For God and country. We are all in these positions because we have been entrusted to be in this position by the people to serve them. So whatever we do, let's do for God and country. Yes, Honorable Father.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to take my bite on this agreement. Mr. Speaker, if for any reason any one of us have traveled this Bano Junction, Tongofi to Bumpe, especially during this moment, you will not even question, you will say straight, you say, we approve this agreement, considering the constraints our people are facing, especially traveling that stretch of road at this moment, which is only being used by motorbikes and is not motorable at the moment. However, when we try to peruse this agreement, I think there are certain issues which I believe must be handled. I will agree with most of the conditionalities my senior colleague highlighted. So by virtue of that, I will also recommend that this agreement is given another view before bringing it to this house. We tried to look at it yesterday, myself and some other colleagues. There are some issues which, to me, I feel must be handled. In the first instance, infinitesimal, the period in question, we are talking about 15 years and then in brackets 30. We don't know which one of the two. So basically, if agreement like this is to be accepted by our people, it must be a win-win. But series of issues are highlighted in this agreement, which to me, I can say they are to be given a close lens. Professionally, if that is not done, our people will, at the end of the day, will not be happy with this project. Minimum consultation also from members of parliament along that road corridor. We are not consulted, even in the stakeholders' engagement. And for us, as the deputy chairman of this committee, I only saw this bill in this house the day before yesterday. Sorry. It was yesterday. Yesterday I collected from dispatch. So on that note, I think, Mr. Speaker, we need to do those amendments from which he said premature to mention them here in this plenary before bringing them before this house. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I raise my case.
Yes, Honorable Kachi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
After Honorable Kachi, then Honorable William Flaming, and we round up. Let me tell you, members of parliament.
We are on that road.
If I do not regulate this house, each time we come here, we leave here at night. If I do not regulate you, Because everybody wants to say something. And most of the time when you get up to talk, you say the same thing. Already said. The same thing. That's what you do. If I do not regulate this debate, we leave here, almost always we leave this place in the middle of the night. So, proceed, Honorable Catherine.
Mr. Speaker, we know you are a man of your words. But Mr. Speaker, I know you want to see every member of this House stand and talk to you, and stand and debate on issues. So sometimes, Mr. Speaker, as leader of this House, we are pleading that sometimes it's very considerate to their members for the benefits of
which members?
all of them, especially the host members.
All of you want to say something.
Mr. Speaker, I am appealing for the host members.
Let me see all of those that want to debate.
The host, Mr. Speaker, the host is Honorable Musa, Honorable Gatu, and Honorable
How many of you? 1, 2, 3.
not a host.
Can you do your debate in 3 minutes? Can you do your debate in 3 minutes? 3 minutes strictly.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I am happy that we allow them to talk their minds, because especially the Honorable Dugati Musafa from Tongo, if I could vividly remember her some a year ago, she was very, very in a troublesome position where the people were like harassing her for this particular road. Mr. Speaker, as an opposition, a positive one, I am so happy seeing toll. Mr. Speaker, toll help government to raise revenue. Every country that wants to develop should encourage toll, because toll is very good for development. But Mr. Speaker, my brother and the deputy chair, they've said it all. We really appreciate the toll in the particular agreement. But Mr. Speaker, point number one, for us not to go back and forth as a parliament, Mr. Speaker, I am asking you to use your good office to involve the committee of legislative into agreement preparation. Mr. Speaker, if we have the chair of legislative or any other member of the legislative committee into preparing agreement, this back and forth will be a thing of the past. Because they will come back and report to us that this and this and this is what we find out. We will sit as a parliament, we agree, and we move forward. Mr. Speaker, the other problem I have as a Sierra Leonean coming from up country, Mr. Speaker, please use your good office to negotiate with the minister. Even though my brother has asked for an addendum, which is very good. Into the addendum, let us look into the issue of toll. Mr. Speaker, I am not convinced, because into the analysis, it's telling me 4 toll. When you turn to Annex 4, Annex 4 will say 3 toll, which is which. And the other problem, Mr. Speaker, the agreement again telling us about 15 years, and in a bracket said 30 years, which is which. Mr. Minister need to address us, telling us the years. Because I know it's 30 years, but a typo means a lot. So, Mr. Speaker, the minister needs to address us. And Mr. Speaker, as a leader and as a Sierra Leonean, 50% of government shares we need to peruse, and we need to have something. Government of Sierra Leone need to receive something as what we call a benefit from this road. The people need the road so dearly, Mr. Speaker. I'm telling you, for the past 60 years, this road has not been looked into. Government in, government out. So if this particular government wants to look into this road, we're asking them, let it be for the benefits of the people. Let it be for the good of our Sierra Leonean people. Let the people benefit. The people cannot pay 4 toll. In Freetown, where we have everything, we pay 3 toll. Why 4 down there? Why 4 in the rural areas? And Mr. Speaker, if you go into this agreement, even though it was late yesterday, but thank you to the honorable members. It's like we are doing a job diligently now. Yesterday to today, we bring out issues to tell you we are here now to do our job. So I am asking that, even though we are asking for an addendum, let the addendum be very clear. Let the addendum be very explicit, especially on the issue of benefits from the particular road, and for the issue of toll, and for whatever, especially on the issue of the corporate social responsibility that is not clear. Whatever government or whatever company, the issue of corporate social responsibility has to be very clear for the people. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say a very big thank you. You are a man that is listening. continue with this spirit, the house will be in a very good order. The house will be a safe house for everybody. Thank you.
Honorable 3 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to inform the general public that we must not, as honorable people, must not misinform the public. The figure here is very simple. My daughter, who is attending Meridian Primary School, can attest to that. If you divide 155 million euro by 85, it's not $2 million per kilometer. It's $1.8 million per kilometer. That's point number one. And to talk about corporate social responsibility to this point, I want to inform this public that if you go to the document in question, page 80 of the Annex 4 of the document, is very explicit of it, how much we are talking about here. If you take in total, that is where you come up with $155 million. But if you take specifically the construction amount, it's not up to that. If you divide $85 million,
this is a speaker.
if you divide $85 million, it's $1 million per kilometer. If you take that figure, and you talk about
Honorable. Yes.
Speaker, this is an insult from my profession. I'm a mathematician. The amount, the project cost is $477.4 million. If you divide it by 85 kilometers, you get $2,087,000. It's very clear.
Honorable Speaker, if you go to page 80 of 84 of Annex 4, it's clear that is why I come and but I also have a degree in mathematics, right? So don't go into that area. So please, and also talking about engaging the public, I want to express to this the SNLA, the Ministry of Works did a very good job on consultation. I want to say to my colleague, honorable member, we don't need to be involved in everything because we have a responsibility, oversight responsibility. If we are not consulted during this engagement meeting, we have to do the corporate, we have to do an oversight job. So we don't need to be involved into agreement like this. For our people who are involved, if we go to the different pages of the safeguard commitment, who engage people, honorable speaker, they engage 850 persons and in 41 communities along that route.
Mr. Speaker.
So please, this was a very good job done.
I want to promote my colleague.
Honorable Speaker, I want to commend the ministry, the SLRA, for the safeguard people, the professionally engaged that they do this. Because if I make a comparative analysis, when we went to Betema Matrujon Road, they engage people there. And then we also, my colleagues here who want to make a point of order to me, want to make an issue of that, say, you are an honorable member of parliament. You don't need to be involved in everything. You have your own specific job according to the constitution. You don't need to be involved in the So, in conclusion, especially on page 18, when people are talking about corporate social responsibility, it is there. It is there. About $4.3 million corporate social responsibility. They talk about community structure, borehole, schools, health center, market. So what are we talking about? The ministry has done its very best. I believe that we will give all we do to pass this agreement, and that we cannot, in no way we can compare China to that of our neighbors. We are talking about local content, we are talking about West Africa, we are talking about Mano River Union. So in no way you can compare China to that. Yes, we're talking about Mano River Union. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, I want us to consider it as the parties agreement.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable Popana, after Honorable Popana, Honorable at the back. Who's that? The lady. No, the lady with the black. Yes. You. The host. Okay, after Honorable Popana, you. 3 minutes each.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much.
Then the lady Honorable, then we round up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Quickly, 3 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, this is an opportunity for us, purely some of us who are familiar with Lower Bambara and Kono. Mr. Speaker, I want this House to understand that some of us are the most happiest people when we saw this agreement. And I want to thank members from the opposition who have taken the floor before us. Over 90 years, Mr. Speaker, Kono and Kenema have been challenged with that particular rule. Mr. Speaker, here they move sometimes. For example, between June to September, if you want to come to Kenema, either use the motorbike or you come to my Sheka, you come to Kenema. So that road is very, very important and critical for some of us who are connected to these two districts, that's Congo and Kenema. So for us to see government through the Ministry of Works and SLRA bringing this particular agreement to this well, we are happy. We are willing to support this agreement, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for us to have one of the biggest mining companies in the history of this country, NDMC, that leave that road as it is a big disadvantage for us. But Mr. Speaker, as members of Parliament also, we want to be involved in some of these engagements. Mr. Speaker, there is no way an MDA can detach members of Parliament from our role. Mr. Speaker, we are stakeholders in our constituencies. We are stakeholders in our districts. Mr. Speaker, if members of Parliament were consulted from this particular document, trust me, we should have been the same members of Parliament who shall lobby our colleagues before today. Because we need these roads better than every other members of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, less than a year ago, a paramount chief from this particular angle have debated the Mano Junction Tongo Road. That is to tell you that even the paramount chiefs from the north are concerned with that road, because this country is interconnected, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, if you see we are saying we want to know about the calculation, we want the minister to help us to know about the toll. Mr. Speaker, just a few months ago, we were here with the then minister fighting for this toll road additional cost. Because for us, we campaign on some of those things, Mr. Speaker. So when we see toll road, we want to support those toll roads. Mr. Speaker, the current DG that is in front of us today and the deputy DG, 5th Parliament, we work with them for close to 10 days. We did the Mabam Bridge with these two young people today in front of us. We did the Bele Bridge. We did the Liberia Highway with them. We did the Muyamba Junction, Muyamba Town Road. So if you see those constructions are very well done, it's because Parliament was also involved, Mr. Speaker. So we want to involve not only today in the debate, but we want to involve even in the preparation of some of this agreement, Mr. Speaker. So that's my contribution as members of Parliament from that angle. We are happy for this agreement, but please, Mr. Speaker, where there are clarifications, we ask the minister to do these clarifications, because we, as members of Parliament and the President's faces will be on the ballot box when it comes to vote. So because of that reason, we want to be informed. So when the community people ask, we explain to them, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Policy emanations.
but let me come.
You want to
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am one of the beneficiaries of this agreement. If I call my people today and tell them we have an agreement for the construction of this road, they will dance all day. All day. At the moment, I have been working with the DG of SLRA to maintenance the road from Mano Junction to Tongo Junction to Panguma Junction into Panguma. And we have some construction companies taking stone just so that the road doesn't, the road stays functional. So seeing this agreement today, because I wasn't here yesterday, I'm over the moon. But as much as I want the construction of this road, I also want it to be feasible for my people. I have no problem with paying tolls. I am used to paying tolls. But give us 2 tolls, Mr. Minister. 2 tolls, no more than 2 tolls. I know this company coming in to construct this road is going to make money. The commerce from Kono through Tongo, through Kenema is huge. I don't see why they should put 3 tolls on that road. That would be a burden for my people. You know? If the government is paying half of this construction cost, they should also get half of the proceeds from the tolls. That is just feasible. They should also get half of it. I don't want us to lose sight, or the companies to think that we are so pressed for this road to be done that we will just accept anything that is thrown at us. They can bring the kitchen sink and we'll grab it. No. We want things done the right way. If the government is paying half of the construction cost, they should also get half of the proceeds from the tolls. That is just the right thing. You know? And the consultation with stakeholders. I am one of the biggest stakeholders in that area. And I was not consulted. I push myself. I am always at SLRA, and I know at some point the DG gets tired of me, but I don't relent, because what I'm doing is in the interest of my people and also myself. That road has been bad since the days of SLST, NDMC, and this country has benefited from that area immensely. So it is just the right thing to do to construct that. But don't let it be a burden for my people. We are very, very happy. And when I leave here, I'm going to call the stakeholders over there and tell them the road is on track. You know, but no, I will tell them the road is on track, because I know this house is going to do the right thing. And the right thing is to ratify this agreement, make sure the right things are in there that is going to benefit us all and our people and this administration. Please, when we go back home today, let's look through this agreement. Let's not just take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot, take it with, brush through it, and let's see what is agreeable and what is not agreeable. Dr. Zandi, you know I have been on you all this time about this room, and I'm very elated. I'm very thankful that you have brought somebody that is going to try to help us out in that area. As I speak to you, that road is not motorable. It's not motorable. It's one of the biggest drags in going to Kono. It should not be that way. You know, so I hope we will all think about it. We will look at the agreement, make sure it's in the interest of the construction company and also the interest of the government, because nobody wants to work for nothing. Thank you.
Honorable Secretary, after Secretary, Honorable Nuru Tombi, the leader, and the round
Mr. Speaker, I want to.
No, we cannot, please. Leave that short for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to use this opportunity first of all to many thanks to His Excellency the President and the mic is on for the
Facebook account?
What is wrong with your mic?
Thank you. Okay, I now have a mic. First of all, I want to thank His Excellency through the Ministry of Works for this great initiative. Mr. Speaker, just like the previous speakers have just stated, there are particular parts of the country have suffered injustice for quite too long. If I may quote, or if I may take clue from His Excellency. Imagine during the era of SLST and NDFC, instead of them fixing that road, they will choose to construct a small tarmac and refer to it as an airstrip. Call it Yafield, Togo Yafield, Egema Yafield. Just for them not to connect these two communities. And a lot of people have lost their lives, properties, and they have got a lot of accidents along that road. So it is a very welcome news for all of us today when I inform my people that we are coming to look into a document that has to do with the Bumpe, Jama, Tongo, Kangama to Mano junction. They were very happy. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I know we have to look at the document keenly, but I will not want us to vilify the document as well, or to do any comparison to either the Maishaka Road or to that of Wikisi Road. Those of us that are coming from that part of the country, Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you, if you know that road if you look at the document, they are talking about designing of the road and the construction of the road. If you plan that road between Kalaman Grama to that on Jama Nimikoro, where Honorable Musa Fofana is coming from, you definitely, if you happen to find yourself in a dream, you think you are going to hellfire. I'm telling you, it is a very difficult terrain to go through to navigate between the Nimi Hill to get to that place. Honestly, the contractor will have to spend a very huge amount of money if at all he wants to fix a road that all of us are requiring for. So what I'm saying, though there are some areas that need to be fixed up, like putting a toll gate at Bope and putting a toll gate at Dama, you have automatically disadvantaged people like Honorable Musa Fofana, because he stays at Bope, but he has his family house at Kwanda. So you will have to pay 2 toll gates at a time in the distance of not more than 5 kilometers. So that one also is a burden. And Mr. Minister of Works, I'm pleading with you for you to have a reconsideration for the Guinea Kamiano Road. How I hope this opportunity we have it along that route. And also, the Gandon Shebema Tonola Road also is another one. It is because of the abandoning of those roads that make Kono to be referred to as the Northeast. Originally, we know Kono to be part of the Eastern region. But because there is no accessibility to the regional headquarters, today, Kono is part of that is why they coined the language Northeast. It's because of the abandoning of that road. So please, have a good reconsideration for the Ngandon, Shebem and Ngandon, Bunungu to Tondola to Shebema. Because that was the first road, trunk road that leads to Kono. It was that road that the white man used to enter Kono. Today, if you are talking about education in Kono, it is through that road that you get Western education. Means that road is very important. And also the Guinea road. And the importance of that Guinea road. I'm telling you, no, if you told that road, you end up getting your money in less than no time. Because you'll be having truck from Mali, you're having truck from Ivory Coast, from Guinea and other places coming to Sierra Leone through that road. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I thank His Excellency the President for such initiative. God bless you.
Honorable Lolo Toge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, after Honorable Lolo Toge, I'll give Alice Konya Sadi 3 minutes. Then the leader, I will conclude. No, you are just coming. Yes, proceed.
Yeah, thank you.
Proceed, 3 minutes.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I like the way you advise us that when people get up to debate, let's concentrate and hear what your partner is talking about instead of repeating the same thing. And luckily, right now, I'm going to bring up ideas that none of them spoke about. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if you can remember, 3 years ago, we received the Chinese construction company that is starting from Due to Masiaka. Why? Simply because they made a simple mistake in putting the amount into dollars, and that is very, very important. We have to be careful about the paying, figure we are going to put on our paper. They came back. It was 5 leons, and now today I think we are paying 10 leons simply because of that, because of the depreciation of the leons, etc., etc. So we have Mr. Minister, you have to be careful about that, negotiate with the partners, and see, come to an agreement so that our people cannot pay 10 leons, then all of a sudden they begin to tell us 25 leons because of, X reasons. And then secondly and finally, Mr. Speaker, you know very well that Sierra Leone, we don't have maintenance culture. Maintenance culture is actually destroying a lot of our infrastructures in this country. And until we do that, I think we have to continue managing with other partners, because we are not ready to take care of our infrastructures. We'll let go until, something that will cost us about $100,000, we end up paying $500,000. Simply because we don't take time, we don't care, and we are very reluctant about this. So if this company people come and they are making our roads, look at the beautiful road between Freetown and Mashaka. When you get on that road, when I'm driving on that road, I don't actually want to stop driving. When immediately I get to Mashaka, you see thousands of hot roads from there. So I would like, and this is why I wanted to bring this to your attention, and I hope and pray that, Mr. Minister, you've taken note. Let's bring this into the agreement, and let them have the go and back forward to Parliament to arrange things. Thank you.
Proceed, Honorable.
Thank you, sir. It's not working. Have the mobile mic. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As one of the host MPs for the proposed Manor Junction to Bumben Road construction, I cannot overemphasize how happy I am, and I believe the joy of my people in hearing such a very laudable initiative for the benefit of our people, Mr. Speaker. Other host MPs before me have all stated the benefits this will have for our people, because as not just as an host MP, but as a beneficiary of this road. This agreement is not just an agreement for us, it is a hope for economic development for our people. This is the same path I will use, or I usually use to visit my people. It is the same path the farmers in our areas will use to transport their goods to the market. It is the same path our school children will visit their schools, and of course the sick to the hospitals. However, Mr. Speaker, in as much as we are happy for this development, and it is indeed true that development comes at a cost. Having gone through this agreement, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I however have some concerns that I may want the minister to clarify. With your leave, Mr. Speaker, I may read. One, I want to know whether the environmental social impact assessment approval and completion report has been done. If so, with a functioning grievance redress committee that includes our local people. Two, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of transparency, we all want to maintain transparency, so I also want to know the procurement process used, or procurement method used for the 155.44 million US dollars contract. So I may want to know the procurement method used, if there are any direct negotiations and publication of the contract, bills of quantities and variation control, Mr. Speaker. And of course, we all know without benchmark and estimates, together with the independent engineer review, we cannot verify in units the rates for the artwork and pavement that will be done. So they also want to know the engineer's estimate and peer comparison for similar roads, if any. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is welcoming for the $1.75 million that is being allocated for compensation for projected affected persons. However, delays in payment and valuation of these areas or properties, if not properly done, will lead to resentment among our people. The minister and all others involved should carefully manage this to ensure it is well done. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we all know the $155.44 million for an 85-kilometer road is quite a large envelope for us as a country, especially with our government contributing 50% of that amount. And to any business, there should be profits in return. But the fact that our government has nothing to benefit is also a concern that the ministry should be aware or take note of. Finally, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our people do not eat promises. They live on roads, good roads, because these roads will positively impact them. If the government and that of the contractors can meet the conditions adequately and that of in the interest of the people of Sierra Leone, then let us grow. However, if they cannot at the time being, there is no problem in waiting to ensure we do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Yes, leader.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to join Honorable Musa to express happiness over that rule. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Section 40 of the Constitution, subsection 4G, without prejudice, the President is considered to be function of honor, symbol of unity, being represented by the ministers to enter into every agreement without prejudice. It is Parliament that will ratify that agreement. And you are said in Section 105, we being the supreme legislative authority, Mr. Speaker. It is on this note today I want to speak to this document called Consensual Agreement between the government of Sierra Leone and being represented by the Ministry of Wealth and Public Assets and SLIA and the Societe Jura Maritech Construction Limited and Partners. It is important for us to know that agreement like such makes my heart to cool. It proves President Malabio as a top and good president. He campaigned on that road, put it in a manifesto, transformed the government policy today in here as a law for you to be ratified. And I'm very happy. But let me tell you, Mr. Speaker, shortly about the historic perspective of that road. On that road, just after Njama, just after Kagaman Burama, there is a place called Medefai. And there's also a place called Korofai. I never knew this. I'm not a reader of history. But I went to the British Parliament Library during my short stay in the UK. I was spending time to look at the scramble and partition for Africa. And I engaged that library, and I saw one of the greatest warriors in Sierra Leone was called Komafo Amasa Maturi, Mr. Speaker. Komafo Amasa Maturi was given a Valor Award because he made a name between Mende line and Kono line, and that is why that place was called Medefai. That is the place in which Mende were killed, a running water, and Korofai, a place in which Kono were also killed. Medefai and Korofai, and there were two bulldogs. One bulldog was belonging to the Konos, and the other Mendes. Mendes is not the Kawan grammar. The Kawan's name is Konobuno.
5 to the square. It's 5 to the square.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it used to be one. I should tell you this. Kenya and Kono, it used to be one, southeast. They were all doing trade in one single place called Pangoma, and I've been reliably informed that there will be Pangoma district, and there will be Madaduma district. That's a central place called Pangoma until the Konos feel very threatened. They will wale and do them all. After getting their wares from the bag, they will engage in palm kernel, cocoa, and coffee, and then they will lose all their benefits. There was a great man, Mr. Speaker, that's the historic aspect of that road. I can tell you, Command Farmers Amatu, the first farmership of Guinea was so great. We are told, according to the British writers, that will transform into python, you will transform into lion, you will transform into leopard. That's the man. Great man. And he killed the greatest Mende warrior called Dawa. And the British, so the man was so fearful. A small man in stature. You mean he killed a one Mende warrior called Dawa? The man was given the former Valor Award. Go to UK library, British Parliament library. You see come out from Maturi. Small man in stature, but very powerful. Since that time, the British colonial masters, they believed Kono district. They said, no, you are going to be on your own. You will no longer come to Pangoma. That was how Kono district was delinked, specifically for the Konos. President Malabio made that promise. Today we are here. It's a very good road. President Malabio will remain as a champion of infrastructure development. How did I know? From the records, I saw under his watch the Mwemba Junction and Mwemba Town. I saw under his watch the Kabala and Falaba Road. Ongoing now. I saw under his watch the Jendema Road, ongoing now to Liberia border. I saw under his watch the hill station bypass. And inside road, I saw Kabala for the money. Oh, your peace. just listen to small history late. It was Sakaba that looked for that money. And other President it has completed. They are not needed to read history. Listen, Donald an historian. I'm not a linguist. Donald an historian. This is the short history. I saw under the watch of President Adabio the influx road and administration road. Under his watch, the gas road. Previous President Adabio is also making history. The Baban Bridge, the Gbale Bridge, the Yabalu Bridge, the Gbalema Bridge, the Wande Bridge, the Moi Bridge, Banatuma Bridge, Senaru Bridge, Selena Bridge, Sobaya Bridge, Sadaba. He is a champion of development. PPP works all over the world. I've just seen from the government, I've just seen the US model for PPP, public-private partnership, and the BOT. I rode through Virginia last year, PPP at war, in the United States of America. Those that are familiar with the Americas testify that Virginia, USA, and Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C., we passed through toll all over the world. I passed through France, also in the tunnel. I saw toll. Powerful model of toll Indonesia. In terms of local economic impact. In Kenya also, toll, you pay for the road, it is not a floating road. South Africa, toll, you pay for it, it's not a floating road. Socio-economic gains also, time savings, toll.
You have 3 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to justify how toll has benefited nations through their socio-economic impact. In this agreement, I just been told by Mr. Speaker. In any case, let me just highlight a few things that I saw in this 85-kilometer agreement. Number one, in Annex 6, I saw in Annex 6 of this road, maintenance culture. It is saying between every 5 and 7 years, it is compulsory and they should maintenance. Today, roads have been unkept, dilapidated. Liberia will not forgive us in a hurry. Mr. Speaker, Liberia in 1898, I beg your pardon, he built his own house. And he threatened the British colonial master, how can I take my own house? Under previous government, even though the road was there, we are pushed to pay for that road. Liberia fought hard for his own house road. Today, they were eating as a cattle, even though constructed. They were forced to pay for the toll. President Malabio did not meet any road in that particular place. Save the handwork of men. We have seen under the watch of President Malabio that road, Mana Junction, Kanaman Grammar, Tombo, Java and Mikro, Bumpe. We will consulted through BOT and PPP. In clause 3 or annex 3, I saw on that road projected amount from the toll. That did not happen under this Wellington Mashekaro ground until we came here under Bombadi. That how long? There was no survey. In this road, there is yes, 2025 to 2054, there is a provision for that. In annex 2, traffic projection on the road. There will be an evaluator of video projection. In the same annex 6, which clause 24.3, we also see failure to meet this condition can be terminated within 90 days. I'm not ready to look at it. Clause 24.1. It can be terminated. So it's not out of fast, you don't be sacrosanct that by force. If the concessionaire and the concessionaire one phase within 90 days, 3 months, it can be terminated. Mr. Speaker, that's why I'm so happy when the Honourable Minister is already alluding to an addendum to this agreement. Mr. Speaker, the convention rights and obligations are also embedded in this particular agreement. This is a very good agreement. We work for it. At the end of the day, it also gives you a force majeure. The lawyers will know what I'm talking about. In clause 18, force majeure. We're talking of disaster, trouble, of course, we not see war. We're not giving for war. But it also gives provision for that. And in clause 2.5, because of 10 kilometers, that is my add-on. 10 kilometers is too small for the concessionary to start receiving money. I only hope in addendum it will be extended to at least 20 before collecting money. That is it. To at least 20. 10% is too small. But at the end of the day, I begin to imagine the socio-economic boom through cocoa transporting, socio-economic boom through coffee, socio-economic boom through cola nuts, socio-economic boom through gold, socio-economic boom even through diamond. On that road, it will connect and integrate the southeast. On last minute, disease will be one. Once again, romance. As real brethren, that's the road. The road is so important. I can tour the south, east, west, north within 6 hours. That's the importance of this road. I'm very, very happy because at the end of the day, I'm not out again. I will take this road. I should tell you, I'm not bring on this road. It is Jana, Minico Children. Jana Minico Children, for the record, is just a single children constituency. Can you imagine? A single children constituency. One children, one constituency, and it will be having from focus. Take note of that in your addendum. From focus, it will be having a toll at Bube and a toll at Jama Town. Just single. And when we drive, just within 15 minutes. You are within those places. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I also appeal that that government should be giving concession. I think they should not pay. The whole government chiefs, the whole government chiefs of Ghana, as well as Zulu Abamara Kingdom, they should be giving concession. Mr. Speaker, I actually had a lot to unfold on this agreement. In any case, Mr. Speaker, it is my belief, and I'm inclined to believe that the Honourable Minister will take note of those addendums. And at the end of the day, President Malabi, once again, I should thank him because he has just manifested one of his agreements. I thank you very much for the Malabi.
Thank you very much.
Well, English are in both.
No, you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me meet what Mr. Speaker, honorable members.
One clarification.
Whenever procedures are breached, whenever normal procedures are breached, I feel sorry for you. But you go out to ensure crisis management. You are an expert of crisis management. Just to ensure things happen. But at the same time, you also ensure that it must happen the right way. If there have been compliance with standard procedures in this parliament, you will have got just a headache. I can really refer you to the previous agreement. You have to call us regarding our ports, our port operations, and the revenue we get from the ports. You have to call us. And I can sense it that you were not happy. You are not happy as to how that agreement was passed or ratified. But in the interest of progress, it was done that way. Mr. Speaker, today again we are here with another evidence of breach of procedure, of which he called us to office, and then we've got a way out. And based on that, I see no need to waste time. Because I know based on your leadership, we will get a way out. And the needful will be done to ensure Leone first. Leone should be first. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I always want to, this time I want to read now, to read the relevant provision of the Constitution. So my colleagues can agree or disagree with me. That I've been saying this over and over. But all my points I used to make, In fact, this particular agreement before us is an exception. Was never a party to all my concerns I've been making. The concerns I've been making relates to rules, regulations, and statutory instruments. When you make regulations to give effect to an act of parliament, you make statutory instruments to give effect to those acts. Or you make rules, maybe based on emergency situation, based on proclamation by His Excellency. You make those rules. You agree with me that those regulations, statutory instruments, they need to mature for 21 days before it becomes law. Or if a member is not satisfied with the content of that statutory instrument or regulation or rules, then he will stand under he will stand under, the MP will stand under section 170, subsection 7, to ensure that that instrument is debated. And then a motion is moved to annul it. But that annulment needs 2 thoughts. To annul statutory instruments, rules, and regulations. But Mr. Speaker, I want this House to know that agreements are not part of that. They are not. With your permission, I will read property. And then the lawyers and non-lawyers, we are all academics. You can interpret. And thank God, Mr. Minister is a professor. He's a professor of years of standing. An economic lawyer. Subsection 7, Mr. Speaker. Say any orders, rules, or regulations made by any person or authority pursuant to the powers conferred on this behalf by this Constitution or any other law, A, shall be laid before Parliament, shall be laid on this table. Agreements are laid. Okay, but these agreements are not part of this. 2, B, shall be published in the Gazette on or before the day they are so laid before Parliament. C, shall come into force at the expiration of a period of 21 days of being so laid, unless Parliament before the expiration of the said period of 21 days admits any such orders, rules, or regulations by the vote of, annuls by the vote of not less than 2/3 of members of Parliament. So the list says rules, regulations, or orders. Orders, rules, and regulations. Those are orders made pursuant to an act of Parliament. Rules made pursuant to an act of Parliament. Certain instruments made to give effect to acts of Parliament. Not agreements. So, Mr. Speaker, my first submission is that agreements don't need annulment. They can be amended by this House. This House has power to amend. This House has power to amend agreements. And that is what we are ready to do now. We are ready to raise the issues, and then we are ready to disagree. And then based on SO42, Speaker, this is ruling. But I want this House to know that going forward, in fact, based on our agreement, I will move a motion today. That going forward, any agreement of any nature must be presented to Parliament first before they are laid. Because once it is laid, especially the statutory instruments, rules, regulations, once they are laid, the only applicable law now is annulment under section 170, subsection 7. For those rules, regulations, and statutory instruments, if they are presented to Parliament before they are laid, we can amend them at that stage. And certain MDAs have tested the waters. And you tell me, I will refer you to NAFCA. I will refer you to NAFCA. NAFCA, they have just read their regulation. I refer to them. Let them tell you their experience with the legislative committee. Their experience was super. Before they laid their regulation, they engaged parliament. And we saw that so many issues, which was really, it was regrettable if they had been laid in that way, in that form, at that status. It would have been regrettable by themselves. But because they engaged parliament, we were able to sort out those issues. So at the close of my debate, I will move a motion that going forward, any agreement must come, even rules, regulations, and certain instruments must be presented first to Parliament before they are made. If that is done, then you will have less and extra. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, no need to waste time. But for the attention of this House, maybe we'll just make mention of few. To prove that if Parliament had been engaged earlier, those errors would have been corrected easily. In fact, the most fatal error in this agreement is just a typo. The most fatal error is another typo. But because of the implication of that typo, it is now the most fatal error, which is even enough for us to just close this book and then send you back to your office. It's enough. It's considered 2.3. 2.3 of this agreement. 2.3 talks about the concession period. Every agreement, before it is ratified, the first thing we look for is one, the concession period. How long will it take? If you are taking our property, you develop it, you give it better standard, and then we allow you to recoup your money, to recoup your investment. How long will you take to give us back? Is our first point. And then how much are you spending? How much are you spending? We compare these two and see if the timing is reasonable enough. But our first point is timing. And in this case, the timing now, you succeeded in confusing us. You've succeeded in confusing us. In what? You said 15 years. But in figures, you had a bracket 30 years. So which is which? Just like, imagine if it was a pre-engagement, you would not even think to give me the right answer. Because it's time. But failure to do so is not the greatest. And Mr. Speaker, I refer you to an opinion by the Solicitor General. So that such mistakes cannot be condoned. Mr. Speaker, with your leave.
Salat.
Mr. Speaker, one of the annexes, just a one page letter by way of an opinion by the Solicitor General. I will read second to last paragraph with your leave, sir. It says, we have read the documents forwarded to us and directed that, listen to this. We have read the documents forwarded to us and directed that clause 21, sub-clause 2 of the concession agreement be corrected to the effect that the days in numbers be reflective of what is in words. On a separate note, the same mistake. The days in numbers be reflective of the figures, of the words. Currently, they are at variance. So currently, they are at variance. That's a separate clause. And I want to tell you now, that clause is not even too serious. That variance can stay, and it doesn't matter much why it is a mistake. It is not even as serious as the variance now in clause 2(3). The variance as clause 2(3) is more serious. And it cannot be accepted that way. But thankfully, subsection 7 of section 170 does not stop us to correct it so that you continue with your work. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, no sane MP will have such concession agreement for construction of toll roads in this country and then object to it. No sane MP. I'm one of the happiest to see this toll road mentality is now spreading. With you in office, this is the second one. Apart from Wellington Mashaka, that was done before you. But based on the good precedent and the goodies we've seen from that one, since he came to office, we have experienced now two. The one for Songo and Babajo. Another 83 or 85 kilometers as well. That one has been ratified. Good news to you. And now we have another. I've used Kenema to Konon Road twice. One to Kenema to Konon, another Konon to Kenema. On different dates. That road is another form of link between southeast and northwest, even though it is the same. But it's another form of link between one side of the country to another area. How I wish that before end of your term, 91 to Matutuka, we will also need a quick score for you. But that road will also link, will bridge the gap between southeast and northwest divide. It will cross that divide. Go to here. To Maborga is another road that will also close the gap of the southeast northwest divide. It will close down. The divide will go without even noticing. With a very good road. If I have my way, both should be falling. If I have my way, then Matutuka should be falling. Go to Yide, to Makorga should be falling. If I have my way, okay, it will close the gap. If I have my way, I will follow strictly the advice of the chief advisor to the president, Professor Wood. He's advising now. He has advised the president. It's left to His Excellency the president to follow that advice. That ministries like Ministry of Land, your former ministry, Ministry of Agriculture, has nothing to do in the Western area. They have no business in the Western area. Ministry of Agriculture can be relocated. Ministry of Mines. And that middle gap, the middle, not even the road along Mashaka to go, not even the road along Mashaka to Bankeni, no, the middle between 91 and Magoga, between Tahama and Masimbi, between Bo and Yide, that middle. Minister of Agriculture can be relocated there. Minister of Lands can be relocated there. Imagine the goodies that those ministries will go with, plus 2 or 3 other ministries. It will attract investment, it will attract funding, it will attract business activities, and people from the northeast, people from the southeast, and people from the northwest will fuse together. And then this so-called divide, regional divide, will be closed without even noticing it. So please consider that road. Please consider that road as well.
Don't need actions.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. When you go to 10.4 of the agreement, 10.4 of the agreement, When you go to 10 of the agreement, it has imported a virus that has killed this country in respect of toll road. We did that mistake. I must confess. We did that mistake. It was for the first time. Toll gate operations being operated and transfer, we started it. We were the first. And you agree with me that it's a good model. But because it's the first, there were certain mistakes that we did. We tied the Leone to the dollar. And let me tell you now, when you tie Leone to dollar, in terms of value, dollar will just hang Leone as a handbag and move with lightning speed. Leone is just handbag for dollar. Dollar will not be constraining going forward. Look at the speed. To say when there's an increment or there's variance in dollar value by 10% to the Leone, then that is a ground for the investor to increase the toll fees. In that event, that is murderous. It is murderous, it is suicidal. It is suicidal. But I'm happy because I can respond it. I have the powers. Under you, under ISO 42, with you having the final say, I can propose to you as an MP. No law stops me to say in the alternative that the agreement shall be reviewed every 5 years, as the case may be. Then based on the case may be, based on the current circumstances, we can decide to increase or decrease, as the case may be. But our case should not be tied to dollar. Because in fact, if the Chinese company had followed that law strictly, the 10 news we are playing now for you, it should have been 300,000 by now. We should have paid 300,000 by now. But they chose to ignore that one. Do we have assurance that this new investor will ignore? If he chooses not to ignore, he has the law on his side. And there is provision for redress if we fail to pay. Suppose he chooses to follow strictly what is contained here. No sooner dollar increases by 10%, the fees increase. In the next 5 years, I'm not being pessimistic, but based on current trends, in the next 5 years, instead of 10 years, as it is currently stated here, we will start paying up to 150 years, which is not correct. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, collection of toll fees. You did the first one. You are first. You did the first one. The Songo Babato Road. Who does the collection? In fact, very good initiative. I also have. Government does the collection through their collection agent. And then there's provision that out of those collections, they pay the contractors. In fact, when I engaged with the Minister of Finance, you know what he told me? Say the duration is 13 years. We can pay within 13 years. But let me tell you now, we can even source funding from somewhere else. We pay the man, in the next 1 or 2 years, we pay him up, and then we run our toll 100% hours. That's a fine idea. But in this one now, that fine idea has been abandoned. We say now, it is the concessionaire now that should collect throughout for the period of 50 years or 30 years, as the case may be. It should collect throughout. And in the event there is increase in road traffic, he recovers his money in the next 5 years. Meaning the next 25 years, if it is 30, or the next 10 years, if it is 50, will be profit for him. And then we will stand to lose, as we are losing now at Waleti Mashaka. We did that same mistake. But you corrected that one in the Songo Babato group. So why not use that good example? To allow government to collect through their collection agents, and then we pay the concessionaire. And then by divine providence, if there is money somewhere, we can even source that money and pay him earlier. We operate our total 100%. Why can't we do that? Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I think I have opportunity to to follow the rules as directed by you. So on that note, let me just stop here. Because I know the real opportunity is there. You've created it. And I commend you for that. You are a people speaker. A real Sierra speaker. And prosperity will tell. Prosperity will tell. The way you manage this situation, I will hold on. And then I will read more tonight. And then we'll talk about tomorrow. So on that note, I encourage my colleagues that the right thing will be done. Don't worry. The speaker is there for the right thing. It's not the speaker for the wrong things. It's not the speaker for the wrong things. So you will hear from him. You will hear from him as to the day's way forward. But I assure you, on behalf of this side and on behalf of my leader, that you will not be disappointed. The right thing will be done. Thank you very much, and God bless you. I will have to remove the motions, but maybe after this.
Yes, we are not concluding the agreement today or tomorrow. So just put a hold to your motion so that tomorrow, before I put the question, after we have resolved all the thorny issues, then we listen to your motion, we pass your motion and proceed. Yes, leader of government business.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, Mr. Minister, for bringing this document to us. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the opposition have had their say. We have listened to members of parliament. We have raised their concerns. I believe the agreement is not bad. It's a bit challenged. But as has been stated by you, we'll tidy it up so that it stands the test of time. Mr. Speaker, honorable member, when we talk about tool, I noticed the deputy leader of the opposition, was raising, comparing this tool to the Leone in Shaka. Mr. Speaker, I have said before, and I will continue to say, I was in this parliament when the Leone Shaka concession agreement was brought. And I can say clearly, Mr. Speaker, out of here, that before that construction, we had 50% of the road as a government, and we were not paying toll for it. It was our road, and we have used it. It was constructed, rehabilitated, and it was in good order. And the toll came. The agreement was for the CRSG to construct another layer of the road and resurface the existing one. And what we gain from that road is 5% and 10% after paying the loan. They are still paying the loan and they are getting 5%. And let me remind you, Mr. Speaker, there was a period we are supposed, as a government, to pay compensation as a government. We are not even able to pay. Till now, I believe we have not paid. And we have to shift the burden to the contractors. Today, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we have a tool arrangement also brought to us. The cost of this one is 555 million for 85 kilometers. For the Wellington by Shaka, it was 62 kilometers and it was $161 million.
Falling.
No, it is not falling. Let me, I laid the premise. I said we already had an existing two lane, which we are using, which is 50% as a government. What they did was to construct another two lane. It became 4 lane after the construction of a 2 lane. We already had 2 lanes that we were using, which was government property. So the cost of that 2 lane, which is 62 kilometers, is $161 million. Because of the 2 lane of 62 kilometers is $161 million. And the cost of 85 kilometers today from Mano Junction to Kono is $155 million. And this is a brand new road. We are starting from afresh. Even to mobilize to that road is complex. Even to take materials from Freetown to that end, that part of the country is complex, Mr. Speaker. But I believe they have negotiated well. If we compare that one to this one, I think this minister and he still have negotiated well. We are going to pay 155 million as against 2 kilometers, which we paid $161 million. Thank you very much. For the gray areas, of course, there are typos, like the leader of the opposition said. The Solicitor General advised that yes, they tidy up the document and correct the various typos. It was corrected in one part and it was not corrected in another part. And I wholeheartedly accept it. We will correct. We will definitely correct. Because we want to pass laws in this parliament that will stand the test of time. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it has been told to us that this concession agreement is going to last for 30 years. Mr. Speaker, there is no way. Already, the Maishaka Wellington Road is 27 years. And if you compare the traffic that ply Wellington to Maishaka, it's far greater than Kenema from Mano Junction to Kono. Far greater. Everybody that comes to the city and out of the city will have to pay that too. And we get them concession for 27 years. And today we have said it is 30 years. I even told the Director General I asked one of the two if we have that traffic on that road. Because I'm coming from home, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you, I can spend almost 2 years without even going to Kono. I only go to Kono on purpose. For on a daily basis, I go to the provinces. I can either go to Wasalo, Maishaka, all of us. But we are all paying the toll. People compulsory on us as a state. But for Kono, it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory. And the beauty about that toll, it will have an optional road. If you want to use that road, if you are coming from Freetown, you can use McKinney and use that road to Kenema. If you don't want to use the road, you go and pass through Meshaka. That's an option. If you are coming from Kenema and you want to spend less than 12 hours to Kono, you can use and pay the toll. And if you don't want to use, it's not compulsory, it's not mandatory. You can come to Meshaka and go to Kono. Exactly. That means it's that we have an optional road. And when we did the Wellington Meshaka, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our contention in this way was there was no optional road. The optional road is not of convenience, but it's a choice. It was not of convenience. Because if you don't want to inconvenience yourself, Mr. Speaker, you can come to Meshaka and go to Kono. That one is also paid. It's also paid. From Kenema to Meshaka is paid. From Meshaka to Kono is paid. So it's optional. But if you want to spend 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes to Kono, then you pay. That's making it. You are using easy, you know. So it's optional. So today, even when we are discussing the two, nobody has raised the issue that there is no optional. There is an optional. But that's an alternative. And the better one to that. Mr. Speaker, when we talk about toll, at this moment, Mr. Minister, Director General, if I have the wherewithal, I will even toll the road between Maishaka and Boo. I'm coming from Boo. And make it falling, exactly. Mr. Speaker, when I look at this agreement, I notice government has said, even when we are paying 50%, use our 50% as a government to rehabilitate and maintain the road. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, His Excellency, the former president, and his like Omar was the one who completed the Boma Shakalo. This is barely 15 years ago. Today, we are almost doing this road again because the road is wearing out. Have we kept money? Have we told that road we should be using this money to rehabilitate?
Who constructed the Makeni Mashaka area? I'm going to say now the report.
That's it, that's what this is doing. It says when we collect it all, we keep this money to rehabilitate and maintain.
It is better than this your Chinese road.
Because we don't have money to maintain and rehabilitate, that is why the roads are wearing out.
It's better than this your Chinese road.
Today, Mr. Speaker, the fact that we are paying 50%, we have committed our 50% that when these monies are collected, use this of our 50% to maintain these roads. Mr. Speaker, government is spending huge sums of money to construct roads. Today we use it's huge. Bo Kerema, Bo Mashaka, Makeni. Go to those roads. Go to those roads, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Minister. The other thing you should bring and we should enforce is the absolute policy. Mr. Speaker, the absolute policy. Today, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we have huge vehicles loading containers, excessive weight that are pressuring the roads. Mr. Minister, you are coming from Bond. From Bond, you have mining companies that are loading raw materials. These are the people that are destroying the roads. We have people loading timber, excessive weight. The pressure on the road, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have vehicles flying to Guinea. Excessive weight. All of our vehicles are made with specific weights to be carried on. Mr. Speaker, when you drive your SUV, they will say, well, yourself, the driver, somebody in front, and 3 passengers at the back. If you take 10 passengers at the back and 4 at the front, that's excessive weight. That is not the weight that vehicle was made for. And when these trucks ply the roads, they are made to carry specific tonnage of goods. Today, go to our roads. You will see the bond because of the weight of our vehicles, the pressure on the tank. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Minister, if you go to the Shakatu, the only reason why it is being rehabilitated is because it is still under the supervision of CRH. They have the resources, they are collecting the tool, and it's being government property, it should not be possible by now. But today you can see where problems are. Some of these problems are created by ourselves. When you see CRH going to rehabilitate, they don't allow the road to get spoiled. So that's what toll bullshit. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I will talk to you, Mr. Minister. Let us implement the absolute policy. It will be difficult. People will cry, but that will ease, that will save our roads. The worst thing, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you can see roads that have been constructed to last for 20-25 years. You see these same roads lasting for 10 years, 11 years, and they need repairs. Why? We don't ask ourselves why. Mr. Speaker, I want you to take your time and have a brief stop at my shaka and see the vehicles coming from Guinea. And see those coming with those heavy timbers. And even Bond, those Chinese people moving with those raw materials. I was in Mano Daphne the other day. When you see the road spoiled, pressure on the road, you feel the pressure. This is what is happening with our roads. This is what. This is what is happening to our roads, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm appealing to all of us. The grey areas can be corrected, but this is an extremely very good project. It is clear, Mr. Speaker, that I don't want monies to be tied into United States dollars. We should be specific and making our currency viable. We definitely know that all materials used to construct and maintain these roads are imported. And that's where we also encourage the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Sierra Leone. How do we make sure our news appreciates? Because like somebody said, we should not do it like the CRSG. But when we are doing the Ratifies, Mr. Speaker, the exchange rate was 7,500 news per dollar. Today, it's a global issue. Today, exchange rate is 23.5. And that man is maintaining that road, and the materials is used to maintain that road are imported. The man will not be collecting 4,000 so 7-8 years ago, and you expect him to collect 4,000 in 2025. The value of 4,000 was $1 by then, or was $0.5. Today, 4,000 is less than $0.2. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the fact that we understand again where these investors are coming from, we understand exactly that, yes, they want to save their face, they want to be able to handle the market values of commodities. We should also encourage them to deal in news. We can look at the traffic and do projection of a kilo in news. We can say the first 10-15 years, this is what we expect to be, plus or minus, and we look at 10 years what will happen. But let us concentrate ourselves. Mr. Speaker, with that said, they said, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the honorable said there is no corporate social responsibility. We all know that when once this project starts, there will be the SLRA together with the contractors and the ministry will draw up a corporate social committee that will design. They have already stated that they are planning to spend $4.3 million on corporate social responsibility. They have not identified the project that should be embarked on, but they have said this is what they intend to expend. And that's where this parliament comes in, because this is our document, we are ratifying it. We should monitor, make sure that what we are ratifying today is what will be implemented tomorrow. We will have the right to call them and say, how have you spent this $4.3 million you stated? It's part of the project. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Toll Plaza. It is clear, I don't know what the honorable from Mumbai was saying. She was misled. They were doing analysis on the toll traffic, and that was what she misunderstood to say that's the toll plaza. It is stated that we have 3 toll plazas. Let me tell you why, Mr. Speaker. When we passed into law the Ratifies and concession agreement, some people said they want 1 toll station. Some others said we want 2 toll stations. Others said 3. Why? Mr. Speaker, if you are moving from Freetown to Tumbo, and from Freetown to Waterloo to Newton, you are not using the full stretch of the road. That means you should not pay the full stretch of the toll. So you will be opportune to pay just 1 stretch because you are using half of the road. And if you are going to use this road till Abisongo, that means you have done more than half of the toll. And because you are using the facility to that stretch, you are not going to pay the second stretch. And if you are going to engage the entirety of the toll, then that's where you pay. That is to save people using half of the road. And that is what we are doing. Mr. Speaker, if you are traveling from Mano to Tongo, they will not say come and pay the full stretch of the road because you are stopping at Tongo and Bakuma. So you pay some amount because you are using the facility. And you stretch and use another half, you pay because you are using half of the facility. But if you use the entire stretch of the road, then you are bound to pay. So, Mr. Speaker, the three told is saying, and it still will not help you. So, Mr. Speaker, it is 3 toll plazas. And let me tell you the beauty of the toll plazas. It's not just a normal toll plaza. It is going to have facilities. Resting pavilion. Mr. Speaker, we have traveled. When you travel, from I remember I traveled from Dallas, Texas to San Antonio. We had to stop. That was like 4 hours. We had to stop, take drinks, use the restroom, relax at the restaurant. You know, that's even when people using new vehicles, these modern vehicles. There's a period when you drive a long distance, the vehicles say stop, take tea. These new vehicles they'll say stop, sit tight. That will reduce the accident rate. Because if you drive at a period and you know, oh, there's a toll station there where I will go, I will not have to park on the road and pee on the highway. Oh, I'm moving at this point, there's a toll station where I will park, have entertainment, relax. And that is what has happened even now when I'm going to move. I'm confident when I get to my 91, there's this share station there where I will stop. Yes. And what Aaron has advised the guy to do, to open a restaurant. So when you are going to my 91 to go, Mr. Speaker, when you get to 91, if you begin to feel tired, you stop. You stretch your foot, you go and take drinks, you go and relax, there is a restaurant there. That's the facility this soul is going to be created for. It's not just the anything like Shaka will pay and go. You pay and go, you continue the journey. This one you have, it is stated, that's why they are spending $23 million to construct. And that's what we will follow up on as parliament. You relax. That will reduce. Mr. Speaker, if you see the number of accidents on the road, people traveling, they have nowhere to rest and they are tired, they sleep off, accident, boom. So, Mr. Speaker, I believe this story is good. It's good for our people. Already there is no road. This is August. Mr. Speaker, from Banner Junction to Tongo. You think you are in another planet. There is already no road. And these people are beginning this road afresh. So, Mr. Speaker, all the members are also encouraging all of us. As members of Parliament, there's no road. Because there's no road. There's no road, sir. Mr. Speaker, so I encourage all of us as members of Parliament. This is our road. This is our people. I will encourage the colleagues in this parliament, now and the next parliament, that we should do due diligence, making sure what we agreed upon in the agreement is what is being done on the ground. Today, it's on Mr. Dennis Sadi that is presenting the document. Some few years ago, it was Mr. Babgale who presented it in Shakaro. But the road is in existence. A lot of communities have been created on this corridor. And with that road for Bangladesh, a lot of communities, even people coming from those areas, will not be confident to go and build skyscrapers, beautiful houses. So nobody is building houses on those roads. New communities, investment will start. So, Mr. Minister, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. The grey areas are there, we accept. But again, that should not overshadow the general development. That should not. And we should not politicize this project. I still believe if now we have an opportunity, Mr. Minister, make sure we have a falling between Bo and Meshaka and reduce the accident rate on that road. And the more Kedema, So we reduce the accidents, Mr. Speaker, when you drive at that road. It's you until you reach, you know able rest. Because the road is so narrow. It's so narrow. It is better we toll and avoid accidents than reducing it, saving money, and people are dying. There's no money worth the life of Sierra. There's no money. There's no money. So, Mr. Minister, please also consider the Ile and Buru. If you also have investors who are ready to invest in that road, that's linking the north to the south. And it's a very short road. If you have, we can toll. And we are also will be calling you very soon, SLRA, to have an update on the Sogo Moyamba road that was activated in this house. It was activated, it's expected that the project should have started. Our letters will be going out today or tomorrow and we'll be meeting next week to have a first study. Because, Mr. Speaker, it should not be business as usual. Agreements are passed and they go, nobody monitors them. And people use these agreements to go and source funds. Funds should be available. If you don't have the resources, let's encourage other partners to come. So they should extend to us all of the roads that are under construction. We want to visit. That's only we now have support from the Parliament of Sierra Leone to the Committee on Works. We have support. We want to visit. So ready for us, Mr. Minister. We will visit the trunk road. As a Parliament, we have full support. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for supporting the committee. We will be visiting this trunk road, and it is very close to the heart of the Speaker. This road. So we are calling you next week to have deliberation, and thereafter we'll visit the various sites. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Make sure what we pass is what is implemented because we'll be following up. And please make sure when we ask for evidence, for instance, if you are going to take back loan, bring us the evidence of the back loan. We don't have to have challenge. When we ask for back loan, you begin to give excuses. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Government business. Yes, Mr. Minister.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I've listened attentively to all your interventions. I'm rest assured that yes, we do this well, very happy to go and bring an addendum to meet your expectations. And then, of course, we all work together in this with the SLRA, Ministry of Finance, the AG's office, and then the legislative committee of this parliament to have a working document that will stand the test of time. So I want to assure you about that. And then the interest of this country is going to be immensely captured in this document so that our children yet unborn will benefit from this very important venture. So this is what I promise to you, and of course we'll go and work on it together. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, be it therefore now resolved that this honorable house.
No, don't worry about that.
No, I'm here.
Yes, forget about that.
Okay.
You will do that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Because I'm not putting the question today.
Okay.
We have a meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. 9 a.m. prompt. Yes, 9 a.m. prompt. Bring your team along. I want to see. I've already told the General's office. I've informed the professionals from SLRA. Let's all meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. prompt in the Speaker's boardroom or conference room to see how we can chisel out the rough edges and arrive at something that is totally to the benefit of this nation. We're a poor nation, of course, we are aware of that, but we can make these agreements. The agreement should be in our interest as a nation. Otherwise, we won't grow. We won't grow as a nation. even though we are poor, we can still make some little inputs here and there to ensure that we grow. So tomorrow at 9 a.m., after arriving at the necessary conclusions, we can now come to the well and pass the agreement.
Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, let me just say something here, please, before I sit down.
Yes.
I'm happy that we've all recognized that President General retired, Dr. Julius Madabel. If everything goes on well, we'll be considered champion of infrastructure development in this country. I'm also happy, with the spirit I'm seeing, the board members of the area, the SFP here, and the APC here. I'm also really emboldened that this is exactly the spirit we need to have in this country. So I'm really very, very satisfied with the leadership, and I pray that, of course, God continue to guide all of us. On this note, I would like to say here that I have a sister here that for a very long time, I was trying to really hide her identity. And of course, I'm impressed with your intervention. Everyone is quite as and this is my sister, by the way. I'm really very pleased to actually be all of us today. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, and this will recognize Honorable Alice Tonya Sandi. She's been very outstanding in this work, and we are proud of her. Honorable members, announcements. This sitting is adjourned to tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, the 13th of August 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.
Alice,